Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. We as people are going to have to save ourselves. We have been blessed. Everything on earth, with all that the earth is represented by, we human beings and so many other living things, and a process takes place to keep these things over and again and again and again. And yet, while we walk around, most of us, we've seen and heard, believe and think, have a desire for a certain type of experience that seems to be visited with by some, but denied by so many others. And we try as we can to do or to achieve that which we've been missing. And for some strange reason, it seems more or less than not that we just don't do that. We can't achieve it. So we go through the struggles of life, and many of us ask ourselves, why do we have to go through these struggles of life? As I speak to you right now, there are people in small cities and small towns that's down on their knees praying to God for a job, praying to God for a different kind of life, praying to a power that they've heard about that's supposed to be superior, that they have accepted as being responsible for this big ball that we live on, that they have given credit for the ability to breathe and receive this oxygen that gives us the ability to do what it does. They put that faith in that, and they are understanding that this power truly is real, but they are crying out to it. Oh, Heavenly Father, they might call it by another name, but can you help us? Will you help us? We need help. We want to live, we want to survive. And then they sit and they wait, and time passes as the people pass, because that help that they're seeking never arrives. And I think we all want to live. Very few of us want to die. We have bad impressions about death, and we want to stay as far away from it as we possibly can. And yet we give it such honor that we'll use it as a threat to those that we seek to dominate. We'll kill you. We'll kill you. And so in order to live, everybody will do whatever to live. And usually what it is that will be required is that whatever is being accepted as normal, which allows all the pain and suffering that goes around, must be accepted. Don't challenge it unless you're going to make sure that the process that brought it about continues to take it wider. And when taking it wider means to scope it, and yet the resources that are ascertained are taken or stolen from, it's broader to a smaller percentage. And so we have to admit to ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, it is a crying time. We see ourselves here in America. We look at people in Africa. We look at people in other parts of the world, and we see pain and suffering everywhere. And then people get up and say, well, where's this God that you've been praying for? Why hasn't this God answered? And somebody need to tell you why this God hasn't answered. This God hasn't answered because the God finished it in the beginning. We have the power. We have yes and no. We have right and wrong. We don't have to submit to anything that we think that we don't want to be a part of. The only things that exist are those things that we have said yes to. We might, for whatever the reasons are, because they don't have to exist, and if they must exist, we don't have to exist, and that's by choice. That's by choice. When they say we have choice, a lot of people say I got a choice to do right or wrong. I got a choice to do this or to do that, but hey, you also got a choice whether you want to live in heaven or live in hell. And if you're living in hell, you don't have to worry about heaven. You know you're not there. But you can't be in two places at one time. So in order to get to heaven, you got to get out of hell. And how do you get out of hell on a path that you can be satisfied that you're on a path to heaven? Is to make sure that your living has been a light, a shining light for all of those in darkness can see the steps that you're making that brought you to an understanding that the life that they're living is nothing but pure hell, because there's pain, there's suffering, there's lying and cheating and stealing and hatred and racism and all that bigotry. But there is something called peace, prosperity, freedom, and joy, and living your dreams, and making sure that all your dreams are answered, that all that you require is right there. And why is that? Because you, the people, understand what it takes to build it. You have the power. So this hell we're living in America today, we don't hear people talking about let's go beyond. People are saying they're trying to take us under, but let us hold. And I just want to say holding where we are is the thing that got us here. And so if I have to say anything, let me say something that's beyond this. Let us go far, far beyond this. And you might ask, why do I say this? I say this because I know there's a God too. And for me, I don't expect God to change things. I expect those who know God, who are led by the Spirit of God, to change things. I understand that those who are led by that Spirit usually get killed. They get killed because they're few. They are few, but yet they're dangerous enough to evil says they got to go. And you, the people, lost. You know, you're just shifting like straws. You don't know what's happening, but you do know you don't want to die. And you just saw somebody, regardless of how good they were, that God that they served did not keep them alive. And you just didn't understand why. You didn't know that that was the path that is opened for the introduction into a new life that they represented by giving their life for that which they're going to. You might say, how do I know that? It's good enough. I just thought, ladies and gentlemen, I need to say these kinds of things to us because we haven't heard this. We got people out there in the political scene right there in Washington right now saying, take this country down, lying and cheating, and they don't care what they say. They don't care what they say. I mean, if you want to talk about evil, some people used to try to be sneaky with it. I mean, you can't really hide evil, but people used to try to be sneaky. Not now. They come out boldly. I'm God. I mean, they haven't said that yet, at least boldly, I don't think. Well, but you know they're not. Or they might be, and if they are, it's because you've given them that position. It's like when you have a president put all of those who support him and are in positions of power sitting around the table and put the cameras on them and let each one of them go around the table and say who they support. What God do they support? He who has all the answers, he that is so smart, who knows more than those people who are in positions to know more. And it's usually true because he never really counts or relies on what they do anyway. Why? Because he knows. So he just speak it out. Who? The man of evil. Who is that? You know who they are. Everywhere that the results is pain and suffering and lying and cheating and stealing, that's where they are. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say this before I go. There is power in this God. God is invisible. God has made all things, and we the people have been given access to it. We might not know it because somebody has deceived us, but the truth still remains. And the things that we say we want, we are to produce them just like the hell that we have produced today. And every now and then, God does give us a cue. Someone receives a miracle. That is the when God puts God's hand directly into the affairs of man. It's called a miracle. And what does a miracle do? It indicates that there's something that's happening that you know you can't and others like you can't do. So it must have come from somewhere. And if it's a good thing, baby, thank God. And now you become one who can turn around to all of the darkness and evil and crazy stuff that you used to do because you didn't know. You maybe believed, but you didn't know. And now you know. No, baby, you become a shining light. You are not trying to really run from this. You are a shining light. What are you trying to do? You are what they call, I think they call it, transitioning. Every step that you make is transitioning to that new life that you're going to. You already discovered it. You're in the wraps of that spirit, and you're going straight to that. And the things that you do, they are brought into the light because of that which shines from you. And it is the Spirit of God that's shining through you. You don't have to worry about what they're going to kill you, brother. How you going to get out this door? You just walk and keep on walking that path that leads to life. And deeper. So I hope this might help somebody, even me. Because I'm going to go and play this baby back and see what's really being said beneath what I heard and what I spoke. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good day.